features. Is it just me, or are they trying to kill us?
Welcome to My Views Are My Own special episode, My Reviews Are My Own. I'm joined today by co-producer Colleen and co-producer Bill, and this is the second time I've ever had all three of the creative minds behind this podcast in one room together. And of course, the first fucking thing we're going to do is do an entire episode on the YA film Divergent.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Bill,
is it great to be here?
It's an honor.
Before we fully introduce...
I'm so glad you guys made me watch this movie.
Fuck it. Let's go ahead and say, Colin, what's your horoscope shit?
My horoscope, so my sun sign is a Capricorn, which is very true. My rising is a Cancer, and my moon is a Cancer, which those are like opposite things. So that just that defines my life. Thank you for acknowledging me.
As you know, I'm Doug, always host of the podcast, and
what's your astrology?
I'm a Libra. I was born on the day of the top dog and also the day of the perfectionist. Yo, Bill, what's your astrology, dude?
I'm a Gemini, June 18th, but I don't know any of the moons or
it depends,
rocks or anything.
Like where you were born and what time.
Orlando, Florida.
Well, I don't know. You have to like go to a website.
Oh, no, I've never done that.
We can search it later.
Yeah, we'll do that later.
That's so YA. Anyway, today's film is Divergent, a 2014 American social science fiction action film directed by Neil Burger. Wow, I'm so excited to really dive into this. Who's all in this fucking thing? Shailene Woodley, Theo James, Ashley Judd, a real actress, I think. Yeah. Jai Courtney, Ray Stevenson, Zoe Kravitz, a real actress.
Yeah. Oh, that was Zoe Kravitz.
Miles Teller, Tony Goodwin, Ansel, Maggie Q. They don't even bring up a lot of people. They don't even bring up the Mekhi Phifers in this in the fucking Wikipedia. So that's rude. Absurd.
Wikipedia is.
But before we pop off,
by the way, her father in the movie is the guy that killed Patrick Swayze in Ghost.
Bastard.
Wow.
All right.
Or had him killed, rather.
This story takes place in a dystopian and post-apocalyptic Chicago, where people are divided into distinct factions based on human virtues. Beatrice Pryor, who is the main character, who's also Aaron Rodgers' ex-girlfriend.
No, they're getting back together.
Oh, they're back together?
Maybe.
Right. Well,
sources say.
That means they'll move here to Nashville and I can meet her and be like, hey, you were dope and Divergent.
He plays for Green Bay. That's in Wisconsin.
Oh, shit. Well, I'll never meet her then.
They were looking at property here, but that was
is warned that she is divergent and thus will never fit into any one of the factions.
What?
She soon learns that a sinister plot is brewing in the seemingly perfect society. And I want to bring up something really fucking important right now. This society, to me, in this film, is exactly what I think like a libertarian's fever dream of what the government is.
Yeah.
Like where they're like, the government's out to get me because they're trying to make me into a fucking faction.
We're lucky to be in the city. They say the war was terrible, that the rest of the world was destroyed. Our founders built the wall to keep us safe, and they divided us into 5 groups, factions, to keep the peace.
The plot is absurd.
Yeah.
Well, they open the movie with a scene of like the Titanic, like sunken into like a grassy meadow. And that's just supposed to signal to us that
somehow
society is dead.
Somehow, a boat that closely resembles the Titanic.
Like nothing we know now
has beached near Chicago. Brought to you by Summit Entertainment, because Summit's entertainment. I don't. No, man. I want to ask you guys some questions real quick before we get deep into this.
Okay.
First of all, can anyone here define the word abnegation?
It means you put like ab means after, and negate means like don't fucking do that. So like you just push all your feelings aside so that you are really repressed and sad, and you live a shitty life for others. For others.
We can all agree that abnegation is a word that people don't really
Did
use.
I get it?
I don't know. I actually thought they were saying abdication the entire time.
I'm gonna Google it.
So this society is based on factions. We got abnegation, Dauntless, which is like the cool one.
God.
According to you.
Erudite.
Oh,
which is,
it means the act of renouncing or rejecting something. That's basically what I said.
Okay, so-
and the second definition is self-denial. So I was very correct.
you were so close.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you. I get like an A-.
What are the other ones? So what did I go through? All right, we got abnegation. This is an entire role in society, and you have to join a group, or else you have to be a
So the premise of the movie.
A homeless person.
homeless person. Yeah.
The premise of the movie is that humans suck so bad after this nuclear event that we're not giving any details about. That
Well, we know
you
the nuclear
have
event-
to join. Do you know what the nuclear event is?
100 years ago, there was a nuclear war,
Okay.
and now Chicago, for some reason, is still fully functional. But the only way they can function is to put themselves into these different factions,
Right.
to deny human nature.
Right, because human
right.
nature is evil, according to Kate Winslet. She says it like
Yeah.
75 times.
Kate Winslet fucking hates human nature.
And so they have all these factions where you have to like, you're born into it / you pick it. So it's like we get both. And the factions are, you said, abnegation, which means you help other people and you tell yourself that you're a little piece of shit to make yourself
that's like
want to help others
you
more.
nailed it. That's what their faction.
Or
is
you're
for.
dauntless, which means you're brave and there's nothing else interesting about you. So basically, you're a dick.
Also, if you watch the film at all, Dauntless doesn't mean even brave. It just means like
No.
you like to run and climb.
Run and like laugh
And, like,
and
train
yell
hop.
dauntless. They yell what they are
And wear like
constantly.
They're also- they're also
leather
the-
vests.
They're also the only people that they can get tattoos, because only dauntless people can get tattoos.
You can have an eyebrow
Which is
piercing
absurd.
if you're in.
But no, but I want to.
But there's also amity, which means you're farming.
you need your farm.
because you give a shit about others.
Yep.
So basically, it means if you're in any other faction, you don't
Also,
care about people.
doesn't amity just mean friendship? Is that
I don't know.
I
Means,
don't
like,
nor do I.
peace or whatever. And then there's
like-
erudite.
Erudite.
But everyone says erudite, like really intense erudite, and it means you're smart.
I say ear.
So I guess everyone else is a dumbass if you're not in that thing.
Yeah,
is very,
I guess
like,
so. That was all
either or.
those were all the manipulators and
Yeah,
So if you're not an erudite, you're a stupid fuck. And then there's also there's candor, which means you're honest. So I have a big question.
You
You're
know-
an erudite, you're smart, so you say facts, but you're not honest because you're not in candor. What the fuck is that?
I'm also like
Oh, right. Yeah,
So
they said they were liars.
You
I
know
remember that.
facts, but you tell other people lies because
think we're-
you're
I
not
think we're missing a
in candor?
faction, 'cause
That's stupid.
I want to pop this off where we all pick which faction we would be in. So
Yeah.
our options are, all right, abnegation, where like who even the film doesn't even explain what that means. Dauntless, which means you're brave, but it really just means you're just kind of a yahoo. Fucking candor, which means you can't lie, which is an insane thing to say.
I have a
as
thing-
as a fucking
I have a thing to say
group
about
of society.
candor. Can I say my thing about candor?
Yeah, is everything about candor?
So I have like a big problem with candor because do you ever meet people who are like really just rude and don't know how to censor themselves and they just say rude shit, and then when you're like, hey, that was rude, they're like, well, I'm just honest. I'm just an honest person. I'm just brutally honest.
Tell it like it is.
You're right. It's like, did you know that you can actually be honest with someone and not be a fucking piece of shit rude person?
What?
Like you can actually care about emotions. You can.
No, I thought you had to just be in candor. Or
Like
dauntless.
I could tell you, like, hey, I don't like that hat on you, without being like, you look like a stupid little bitch in that hat. Like,
Wait, you don't like this hat on me?
No, I do like it, but I was just being hypothetical. Like, you
Let the record show my hat does look cool on me.
Yeah, I like the hat.
the
Thank you.
court drawer will show that you look really nice.
Bill is clearly in candor because he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you could say, like, hey, that just doesn't suit you well without being like really mean. But I think that people who are like, oh, I'm just brutally honest, I think they're full of shit, and I don't like that.
Yeah, they just want an excuse to be dicks to each other. Yeah, for
Someone
sure.
says that, it's a red flag, and I'm just not about that.
Yeah.
Are we missing any like important factions? All right, we got erudite, candor, amity, abnegation. There's 5 of these fucking things.
And then Dauntless.
Is that 5?
erudite.
Am I counting wrong?
I think so. And they all wear a different color, which that's the most tragic part of this entire movie is if you pick a faction, you have to wear one color for the rest of your life.
To begin this podcast, I think that everyone here should pick which faction they would join in the blood ritual at the
Bill,
beginning
go.
of this film.
Yeah, there's 5. Abnegation, selfless, erudite, intellectual, dauntless, brave, candor, honest, and amity, peaceful. I wrote in my notes that as soon as they showed me that there were a bunch of homeless people outside, that's clearly who I wanted to go hang out with, because it's clearly it's clearly a dystopia.
If you
yeah, dude, I chose homeless faction.
As soon as they showed the faction list, I was like, well, that's obviously where I would go.
We have to
I would
explain
be
that.
not in your fucking
So
ridiculous.
I'm not going to slice the middle of my hand in front of everyone, even though there's plenty of other places that you can draw blood from that don't prevent you from using your hand for the next 3 days.
We need some context here because you
we do
basically
need some context.
you're born into a faction,
Right.
but then when you turn whatever age, I guess consent age, 18.
I don't remember if they said, but I was confused whether she was 16
Well, I don't
or
know,
like 25.
She had sex with the guys.
And that relationship was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That whole teacher-student older male relationship is very
We'll get to that.
gross.
So anyway, your consent age and whatever that means in dystopia, you go through this event where you slice your hand with what I've called the syphilis knife.
Yeah, the kid
because
used the same knife.
They all use the same knife
Yeah.
to cut their hand and put blood in one of these bowls, which
That's
is
one of
like,
my notes, same
I mean,
knife.
how easy is that to spread? Like one person has to have HIV, and then everyone in the entire population of Chicago, post-apocalyptically, now has whatever it is, hepatitis. We all have it. Like, talk about not wanting to save humankind. So you can pick a different faction than you were born into, and it's a big ass deal. And then they say faction over blood. So like you basically have to renounce your parents or siblings, everybody you've ever met, if you change factions, which many of these characters did. So that's why we're talking about getting to choose a faction.
Yep.
So Bill, which faction do you pick?
I can't choose faction list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if you flunk out, you become a homeless person.
Yeah.
They call them factionless, and basically they live outside of the world of the factions.
And in this perfect society,
And they are like,
literally
everyone talks shit.
there is like an entire
It's very
a population of unhoused people that are forced into it, that are not allowed to have jobs.
We even feed the factionless, the ones who don't fit in anywhere.
Bill said he's going to be factionless. Doug, what do you pick?
Oh, I'm factionless. Real life Doug would be factionless in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me in it.
No, I would just fail out. They'd hate me.
I'd fail out so fucking fast.
Okay.
Let's say like second option, of course, Dauntless is the cool one. What I would definitely do is a lot like what the main character does, where I would like lie my way into it, become like a leading figure in their faction, and then undermine them at every fucking chance I possibly get.
Yeah.
And so that would be my second choice.
That's kind of almost what 4 was doing a little bit.
Yeah, that's actually I although this is a dumb shit movie, and it's made for 14-year-olds who feel like they're being
We should
forced.
say that.
Yeah,
This is a movie for babies.
This is not a movie for grown-ups.
No.
But because of the
We're being harsh.
well, it's been a lot of years, and most people that listen to this podcast now have old enough to have seen it back when they might have been like, oh, I was they were trying to make me be an erudite when I wanted to be an artist.
Speaking of artists, who writes all of the millennial whoop music that they're constantly listening to? There are no musicians in their society.
Maybe
so
it's the factionless. Okay.
they force them to write their music.
We'll give you our scraps if you write sad emo songs that we can listen to.
God, they don't have musicians because they don't have a music faction.
That's
Yeah,
sad.
yeah. But
Okay,
they're
that
constantly
question-
listening to music.
That question will come up. I think, though, that if I had to pick from the available options, I'd pick the farm people.
Yeah, no,
yeah, for sure.
I think I think that
'Cause they're helping everybody.
They're the most laid back and they get to like chill out. Like
Yeah.
no one's like fucking with their lives. No one's making them hang off a cliff and then yelling at them and being like, if you don't get a tattoo, you're a little bitch. Like in Dauntless, it's like you just try and make some food and like be friends with people. And I feel like you could like kind of do your own thing, but still be in that. So I pick Amity or whatever it's called.
All right, moving forward, we are going into first impressions. Colleen, take the stage.
Well, it's hard to say my first impression since I've now seen this movie 5 times.
Jesus Christ.
So my fifth impression is I don't want to see this movie again. Like, I don't think I ever want to watch it again in my life. If I have to, I will, but I'm good to go. I've seen it a lot. I've read the book.
You read the book of this?
It was. I feel the same about it as I feel about the movie. I
Is
don't
the book
have
as
any
dumb as the
additional
movie?
comments. I mean, books always give you a little bit more because they're a shit ton of pages. So sure,
Okay.
the relationship between the girl and the guy was a little more developed.
Yeah.
In the movie, they were just like, "You threw a knife at my head. Let's have sex." And
But I mean,
that was abrupt.
arguably
For many
is
of us.
he is very hot.
Yeah, but like if you threw a knife at my head, my first thought wouldn't be like, "Can I sleep in your bed tonight?" It would be like, maybe you don't fucking throw a knife at me again. But that's just me personally. So all that brings me to say is first impression, I'm like, nah, sure, it's a movie. I guess.
First impression of this film from co-producer Bill.
I've got in my notes this movie is very 2014. Everything is orange and teal all over the screen, and the music is just like that awful, dramatic millennial whoop music.
What does that mean?
It's when you have a bunch of like white guys
Like
with
Hey
beards,
Ho?
and they're all going like whoa.
Like, hey ho,
Probably.
hey
Hey, ho,
ho.
let's go.
No,
Well,
No,
not
like
I
the
just did the Ramones.
The Ramones are much
I don't mean the
cooler
Ramones.
than what
No,
I'm
no, we
talking
went
about.
Hey.
No, he means like- No, he goes, all the other kids with the pumped up kicks.
Home is wherever
Kind of, yeah.
I'm with
that era of music.
Imagine Dragons.
Yes. Yeah.
If we're just gonna
Yeah.
if we're just gonna like lay this on some guilty party. Imagine
People with
Dragons.
beards playing ukuleles and stuff, and
Oh.
standing in a
like
field
Mumford and Sons.
Mumford and
being really
Sons.
dramatic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everything looking really kind of fake. So there's no stakes when they were like way up high off the ground because it was clearly CGI. So
Okay, was that your first impression?
those were my first impressions.
Great.
Yeah.
Shit.
What about you, Doug?
For me, all right. First impression. I'm gonna go ahead and say like when did this come out? 2014.
Yeah.
I was going through a phase where like I was watching like plenty of like this was a period of time we all have to accept when YA films were like blockbuster hits.
Yep.
So there was
Hungry Games.
the Hungry Games,
Yeah.
the fucking Maze Runners.
Maze Runner.
Yeah, and
The Maze Runner 2.
yeah, no, the Maze Runner 2.
Maze
that
Runner
was
3.
Hunger Games too.
the Scorched Trials.
Scorch Runners
which-
Maze.
That's
remember any of
these,
that.
these are all just sequels to the fucking
Scorched
Maze.
Oh, okay.
Maze.
Gotcha. Yeah.
No, but I remember we did watch the Maze Runner and at that time being like, what the fuck is this? And so
Yeah, I haven't seen Maze Runner. I don't know what it's
the
about.
sun made people.
did you see
sad.
the Hunger
Oh.
the
So they
Hun-
had to
Hunger
do
Games?
And I've
on
purposely
children.
stayed away from the Hunger Games
Well-
and Twilight and
Bill, man, you're missing out on a lot of YA from 2014
14. Yeah.
or thereabouts.
You're missing out.
You're not missing out
Yeah.
on much. So my first impression, I was like way back when it came out, and I was like, that's dumb. But I do want to say, second impression, as I watched it, and I said, I want Bill to come over here and do a podcast on it, because Bill is a professional, like, he works in the actual film industry as a real professional with like real filmmakers and like real creators.
Okay, so we've given our overall impressions. We've given the premise of the film.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
So we start out with Beatrice.
Or as she's known by her cool friends in Dauntless.
No,
Triss.
we're not there yet.
Oh shit,
Well,
my bad.
We're not there yet.
I fucked up.
You cut. Shut it down. We're done.
I've ruined this entire thing.
Over. I can't
Right.
go on.
Beatrice lives in
So Beatrice
abnegation.
and her brother and her mom and dad, and they're in abnegation, which means they wear gray every day. So basically, Beatrice decides to join Dauntless.
Yeah, which is
Because
like
she's like, I want to be cool.
kind of the cool one.
I want to,
Is that why she?
Get a
I never
tattoo.
understood why she picked Dauntless.
She's divergent.
Oh shit! This is really important. This is the title of the movie.
She's divergent, so she's actually like she's a bunch of different shit.
So before this is okay. So I'm getting ahead of myself because I wanted to get to plot holes later, but I'm going to point out a big plot hole right now.
Why did she join Dauntless?
I don't know.
Because her life is empty, and the fucking culture is absurd. Who fucking cares?
Okay.
They're jumping. What?
What if you don't jump? What do you think? Be factionless.
Like me and Bill said earlier, I would just join the homeless people because it would be better than to be a part of any of this
Okay.
shit.
So the whole title of the film is Divergent, and the problem is that if you have anything in your personality that's more than just your faction, then you're like a problem and evil, and you might overthrow the government. And so they're trying to eliminate you.
Faction before blood. It's an important ideal, but sometimes difficult to fulfill. Goes against our fundamental human nature. But that's exactly the weakness we need to overcome.
You think that human nature is weakness?
I think human nature is the enemy. It's human nature to keep secrets, to lie, to steal. And I want to eradicate that. That's how we'll maintain a stable, peaceful society.
So what they do is they put you through this little brain test where they put some bullshit in your blood or something, and it makes you hallucinate like all your fears, and you have to like go through it, and they can see it, and then they watch you go through your little subconscious thing.
Also, this is an important plot point. I don't want to interrupt, but I have to say this. They have the tech in this fucking society. They have the tech where not only can they influence your dream state, but another person can actually enter into your dreams. Not only that, they can project your dream onto a screen where an entire group of people can watch whatever you're dreaming. And yet this entire society is based on putting people into like groups based on vocabulary words. Like they have the technology to enter into your mind, and
they
this
can't fix the
society is so
apocalypse.
fucking stupid.
They can't fix the train that just keeps going with no conductor.
Sorry to interrupt, but
That's okay.
I felt like it was a point that needed
That's
to be made.
okay. And so Beatrice, our main character, Shailene Woodley, Aaron Rodgers' on and off again fiance, decides, fuck abnegation. I don't like you. I want to pick Dauntless. I want to wear a leather vest. I want to wear black. I want to get a stupid tattoo. I want to change my name, and I want to be a train hopper. So mom and dad, kiss my ass. I'm going to cut the sleeves off of all my shirts, and I'm going to listen to emo music. What do you think about that?
Did it ever explain how this society came around to that system of deciding what group you were going to be in? Because if
Yeah,
it
so
seems like
Kate-
that sort of exists already, but it's called like a caste system, and you just kind of stay in the socioeconomic
so that's
place
the-
that your
this
family
is
already exists.
This is the problem with the movie at its core, right? So they say, hey, you have the ability to pick your faction, not what you're born into. You get to pick it. However, fuck human nature. It's dangerous. It's going to kill us all. Then why did you give these bitches a choice?
Yeah, why are we giving anyone a choice? Why not just keep them in the groups they're already in?
Why did you give teens the choice to pick their life
Yeah.
if you're anti-human nature?
Yeah.
What?
And wouldn't everyone pick Dauntless because they're the cool ones?
Especially if you're 7 or 18 or 19.
Yeah.
No shit. You'd be like, fuck you, mama, get the tattoo.
Yeah.
And you join Dauntless.
Bill made a really fucking important
This is-
point. Like,
It doesn't
if
make
if
sense.
if you were
You want to
sudden,
control people, don't let them pick.
Yeah,
If
don't
you're-
give them a
if you're born
choice.
into
if you're 17 years old and you're suddenly given a choice, wouldn't
or do you want to jump around buildings?
Well, so of course, Beatrice, aka Triss, which is way cooler,
Oh, no, it's not
Like-
cooler. It's stupid.
chooses to join Dauntless is because she likes to run and climb, and that is the defining
It's her whole
personality factor of anyone in Dauntless is that you like to
Hey.
run everywhere you go and then climb anything you can. That's the whole
have-
fucking.
And like cheer and go Dauntless
We're talking about an entire fucking society.
of these people.
And also, like, if you're Dauntless, not only is it like they're not brave. They like to run and climb, but you have to be you have to be an obedient person who is afraid of all people that are over you.
Yeah.
And you are a cop. These are the jobs available to you. The entire city of Chicago is surrounded by a wasteland, except for like what farmland is ran by Amity. So essentially, Dauntless is a worthless thing. Like you do not need more than maybe at most 7% of society to join this.
Defund.
only-
It's like a it's a fifth. A fifth of your society is cops.
Yeah, defund Dauntless, dude. You don't need.
That needs to be your podcast too.
Yeah, but we should call this defund Dauntless.
Yeah,
It's real.
defund Dauntless.
Like 20% of society does not need to be the cops. Also,
God, yeah.
what 20% of society is the ones that produce food. That's Amity. So these are the farmers.
Yeah.
And so you're telling me that 20% of society is their job is food. Another 20% of society is candor.
Who just like
who
talks
just tell
shit
the
about
truth.
people.
who have practically useless. It's
don't think
an entire
anything.
20% of society. Once you join, you can't leave.
Here's some plot. Beatrice goes to Dauntless. What she has to endure immediately, jump out of a train.
Yep.
Which turns out this isn't the last time you're going to have to jump out of a train.
That's right.
You're going to have to jump out of a train a lot of times, and it's pretty much the only thing that's going to matter about you for the rest of the movie now that you've picked Dauntless. So then they're like, now that you've jumped out of the train, jump out of this building into like a pit. And she's like, I'll go. So she jumps out of the building, and everyone's like, hurry the fuck up. And it's like, bitch, you didn't volunteer.
None of them volunteered
Yeah.
to go. Then she says,
And they're like honking at her to get out of the way. It's like, maybe you could have gone.
It must be said before we go further, the dumbest fucking scene in this movie for sure is when, to prove that she's willing to join Dauntless, which means brave. It doesn't mean like that you're like
An
super
idiot.
fucking stupid or like
totally brave.
or a rule follower. It's not bravery. It's literally faith in this
Blind.
fucking
yeah, it's blind faith.
blind faith.
That is not bravery.
So it's honestly the scene that shows that Triss is so dauntless is a complete refutal of the entire film.
So she has to jump off of this cliff, and it goes into a net, she realizes. And oh my God, she's so brave that she jumped off of a cliff
into a hole.
into a big
In a
ass
hole in a roof in a building. So what if it was
Yeah.
windy that day?
Right.
What
What
if
if-
she just like went a couple of
What
inches
if
to
there
the
was
right?
not a net and you just died?
Well, sure.
She
If the
was-
net wasn't there.
R.I.P. Triss. She was very fucking dauntless because she jumped off of a building. What? So anyway, she gets off, and they're like, "What's your name?" And that's your one opportunity to change your name. I just have to say how I feel about this. Her name was Beatrice, which ends in CE. Okay. So she changes her name to Triss, short for Beatrice, but it ends in S. I don't like that. I don't like nicknames that change.
The spelling.
I want to.
Well,
The
I want to bring a
you're gonna
Dauntless.
hate my name.
S.
I want to bring a Dauntless
Oh
challenge.
my God,
Bill
I'm
is a nickname for
sorry.
William.
Wait. Okay. Okay. Well, then suspend my judgment. Let's just use this as like a.
No, I want to bring this.
I want to use this as a growth moment for myself.
Let's
So when
go.
you give your initials, do you use W or
Yeah,
do you
W.
use B?
Yeah, no, I don't rep my initials as BM
Why? But
because BM is bowel movement.
Bad motherfucker. He's like, my wallet's the one that says bad motherfucker on.
Well, it's the one that says
Okay.
bowel movement on
Okay,
it.
I have areas
BMX.
of growth here, but I didn't like that.
Express.
I didn't like that about her name where it changed.
Yeah.
All right. As in the beginning, when we
I
all
don't
had to
need to
choose.
be right. It's just how I felt in the
Sure, yeah, totally. I thought it was an irritating nickname for Beatrice.
Yeah.
As-
She should go by
Just be like B.
I'm B.
What's your name? Is it a hard one? You can pick a new one if you want, but make it good. You don't get to pick again.
My name's Triss.
First jumper, Triss. Welcome to Dauntless.
Yeah.
As in the beginning,
Bad
when we all had to choose a faction, I think we all now have to choose a nickname after we all have. Well, let's assume that me and Bill
just
didn't just choose to be
jumped.
homeless on purpose because we're like, fuck the society. And we're like, no, we should join Dauntless because they will have food.
They
then.
jump up.
Okay, so rules are you have
alright.
to change your name.
You have to change your name
You can
and
be called anything.
anything.
Oh,
All right.
anything?
Anything. It's,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
dude,
So we're not going to go on
Dude,
Pirate
her
Pete.
taking an
You-
odd part of her name and
you
turning
just
that
you
into
just
her nickname.
proved that you are fucking dauntless because you jumped into a net.
What's your name?
So now
Bill?
your name is not Bill. It is whatever you want, man.
Liet, because my middle name's Elliot, and it's a stupid way to abbreviate Elliot.
Love that.
Oh man,
Great.
that's crazy.
Excellent.
That's like you could have had anything, but okay. Fuck fart.
Okay.
I would be like, I proved that I have no
Like a
fear.
power move, getting everyone to call you. Fuck.
No, everyone in Dauntless has to call me fuck fart because I proved that I am brave.
That you could jump off of a.
And I'll be like,
into a
well, hey,
net.
look, this is the rules of the society we live in. So yeah, you know that my name used to be Doug, but now it's fuck fart, and
Oh my god.
by rule of law, you have to refer to me as fuck fart. All right, Colleen, you get a name.
Yeah, what's your name?
Okay. My
Fuck fart 2.
no. No thanks. I will be called Lane. People have called me Lean before, and I liked that.
Lean?
Yeah, like the cough syrup.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead
Oh,
and say this.
do you remember that they called her stiff a whole bunch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why were they
It
calling
was
her
a
that?
derogatory term for abnegation.
Yeah, dude, it's
It
like
means
it's like
you're,
a slur
Yeah, it's like
for abnegation.
rude-
Okay, because stiff is also a colloquial term in our society where you say like the stiffs and you usually mean like the working class or something.
it means like you're boring and
Yeah.
you don't have a
Yeah,
personality.
totally. Okay, yeah.
Is what they're trying to say.
Hey, I don't want to like insult everyone in this room, but I want to say that you guys
You mean
both
us?
you guys both just jumped off the fucking cliff into the net. You could change your name to anything, and you
Maybe I like who I am.
okay.
You don't like who you are? You wanted to
I was just trying to make fun
So
of her
drastic.
because she chose the worst part of Beatrice.
I just feel
to go
like
by.
okay. Well, then I guess like, I'm the one that has to live by the name of fuck fart. So I'm like I'll be like
Yeah,
in my I'll be
my
like
bad. I'm not gonna.
when I become Mekhi Phifer's age, who like,
Fart
is like the only like
Hey, he's the only like older person.
middle
there.
aged.
Yeah.
When the final war happens, they show more middle aged Dauntless, but it is
okay.
it is a huge weird plot point that no one in Dauntless
Lives very long
lives past 22
because they all die.
unless you're Mekhi Phifer.
Okay. Okay. Next question. So now that we've picked our names, let's take it a different direction. And I want everybody to go around and pick if you could create a new faction, what would the name of it be? And what would be your contribution to society / your defining trait?
Oh shit, Bill, take that first, man. I don't even want to.
I don't know if I have a good name for it, but it'd have to be whoever makes all that music. We'd have to start a faction for the
music
musicians.
faction?
These fuckers listen to
That
this
would be
bullshit music
Bill.
constantly. They need new songs. They can't listen to the same songs
Song-
every day.
AKA, what is your fucking name again? Now?
DJ
Leah.
Liet.
Liet.
Songies.
The songies,
Or
sure.
maybe like the
The noties.
what's that shit that where you used to steal music from the internet? LimeWire.
Okay, yeah. LimeWire or Napster or BearShare.
All right, so what is it? What is the name
The
of your
Napsters.
faction? So
It's the Napsters.
the Napsters.
Yeah.
That's really good. and this is like 100 years after the nuclear war.
Sure, and if there was a nuclear war, wouldn't there have to be a period where the radiation goes down to tolerable levels for people to be able to exist outside again?
There's a reason I brought you all here today, and it's because
You're thinking about this too much.
Well, no, it's actually because I know a vampire and he wants to make me immortal. But I was like, well, can I bring like people I care about with me? And he's like, who? And I was like, well,
This is our audition.
This is a really
Phil.
pushy
yeah.
vampire.
And I was like, well, their names they're like Lean,
Liet to
Lean and
Lean.
Liet, and my name is Fuckfart. And if you bite me and give me a
You'll be Count Fuckfart.
eternal life, I will actually also turn them into vampires
Oh, shit.
and prove to them that actually because of libertarian beliefs and the impending nuclear war, that the movie. What is this stupid fucking movie we're talking about?
I keep forgetting the name too.
The movie Divergent is actually prophetic. And so I was just trying to show my friends how like this shit's real and also give them eternal life as a vampire.
That's so thoughtful.
Yeah, that's really
Yo, but that would be crazy though in 100 years if you were like, damn, Doug, that was a fucking up. Like you started an entire podcast. All that shit was just
just to turn us into
Look at us
vampires.
now.
because you loved the movie Divergent so much and you thought it was so
This is your long
prophetic.
game.
And also that I'm like in contact with a Dracula type person who is like willing to negotiate with me.
Great. Okay, so Bill is in the Napsters and they make music for society. What's your faction called? What
All
do
right,
they do?
here's my faction. All right, check it out. I haven't thought about this before, but you know what? I love being on the spot because it makes me not nervous at all. So are we gonna like be outside of the universe where I literally just said that I vampirized both you guys to?
I don't.
I think,
you're
yeah,
in
you should
charge
be
of
in the
your
vampire faction.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna just go ahead and be the vampire faction.
Biters or the
You just like
the
snatch
ankle
people up.
biters.
Our faction is called the Fuck Fart Brigade, and also like our only contribution to the society, other than that we charge a blood tax, so that like otherwise we don't just kill you. So what you do is you give me and Lean and Liet
I already forgot we'd said that, so I didn't know what you were
blood.
talking about.
And actually,
Who are those?
It's like, who are they?
yeah, that's you guys. Those are the names you picked.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
so me, Mr. Fuckfart, Lean, Liet, we're sitting over here. I've already built like a really cool castle.
Okay.
It's just insane. Like in this post-apocalyptic Chicago, my castle looks like kind of like Dracula's castle from Transylvania. There's
Right.
always lightning and thunderstorms and shit because like I am assuming sometime between now and then I'm able to like learn like some like ability to do
Weather.
climate shit.
Wow.
So it's always raining. It's always fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're called the Fuck Fart.
And we write the goth music and you make it rain all the time.
Yeah, we're called the Fuck Fart Brigade.
Okay.
I don't let anyone else join but you guys. You're the only two immortals besides me.
Kelly.
The whole society has to give me like I don't know like
Coins.
no they give us bags of blood. Yeah, coin. You're right.
Bitcoin.
They should give us. No, I was gonna say the only thing we produce is cryptocurrency, which is
Fuck fart coin.
Just mining crypto. All
Is
day.
this just you
Crypto
trying to plug fuck
vampires.
fart coin again?
you caught me.
Is this why you wanted to watch Divergent?
No, but for real, the whole thing is that I'm selling them cryptocurrency, but in the future, like I don't actually mine it or do anything. I just like find trash on the ground and write fuck fart on it. And
then it's an NFT.
well, it's officially, if I write fuck fart on it, that's officially an NFT. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're right on, Bill. And so society at this point, like, it's bad enough. But now they have my faction called the Fuck Fart Brigade. So you asked
I was listening.
what I would do if
I couldn't control that.
what I would do if I could have my own faction.
out of me.
And my own faction is called the Fuck Fart Brigade.
Great.
It's 3 vampires. It's us.
Okay. That was an amazing answer.
That's a great answer. Yeah.
I mean, just, let your imagination go wild.
Okay.
Live, laugh, love.
Live, love, fat,
bite,
fuck, fart.
mine.
Live forever, laugh forever, love forever. Fuck fart coin forever.
That's awesome. Okay. That was thrilling. So, I don't have a name for my faction that I'm in love with yet. I want my role to be that I just like watch TV all day in comfy pants. Like eat-in pants, you know?
Oh, and I don't know what that means.
Pants you can eat in.
Oh, eat in, not like the garden of
No, they're called eating pants.
Eating pants.
Come on, Bill.
eating pants.
Like-
Eating pants. It's the
These
pants
do
you put on.
not-
I eat in all my no. I don't own any pants that are free from.
Man,
being
this
eaten.
motherfucker wears
Well, lucky
jeans
you.
while he eats.
I eat in jeans.
If it has a button, I don't want to eat.
Oh,
in it.
okay.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
If it's not elastic, I don't want to eat in it.
Okay.
Bill,
I don't want to be limited
So
by,
when you go
by
out to
that kind
eat
of thing.
somewhere, you wear sweatpants.
Don't ever. No, I would wear like a dress.
Oh, okay.
look, I don't want to tell Dracula.
Or
that
maybe I
you're,
would
like,
do whatever I wanted,
that you're fucking around right now.
but I
like,
wouldn't wear eating pants.
The fact that you're saying that you don't change into like sweatpants
Okay.
for massive eating events is
Massive
Yeah.
eating events.
So
That's not how I
every-
describe. I call it dinner.
So listen, every time I'm eating, I'm not necessarily wearing eating pants. Every time I'm wearing eating pants, I'm not necessarily always eating. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Okay.
It just
so
certain
you just mean
pants
like
are,
sweatpants.
Are eating pants. I mean, if you want to simplify it in that way, I guess that would be a generalization you could make. But
So you want to be in the pajama party?
I want to wear eating pants all day.
somebody sounds pretty good.
And
Yeah, everybody's in
I
pajamas
wanna watch
watching TV.
TV. And so I think I could contribute to society. You know how Netflix says like suggested for you?
Yeah.
Clearly,
You would write
they only
those?
have one train operating on a loop. Their technology, except for mind control,
So
is
you would-
pretty low. I would give that to people.
You would be like, I suggest
type up
this Netflix
you should
program.
watch this when you're not farming, when you're not getting a tattoo,
When you're not farming crypto.
when you're not train hopping, when you're not like doing charity work, when you're not reading books, when you're not talking shit about people.
When you're not
Might you
pulling
try
the
this
strings.
on Netflix?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I
also,
would do a good job at that, and I would feel really good about myself.
Colin, you've inspired me, and I would like to add a caveat
Thank you.
to the Fuck Fart Brigade.
Okay.
And also, your thing would exist.
Well, you only had to have one personality trait. So.
Well, no, that's cool. I'm a vampire, but you can, like, your thing is like you wear like
my
you wear pajamas. That's your personality trait.
Comfies.
Yeah, comfies, whatever. The point is, you're under
We'd be called the-
you're under the protection of the Fuck Fart Brigade.
The what? The Edie's?
Eaton's
The Eaton's?
pants. Okay. This has gone on too long. So here's some more plot. Now that we've talked about the factions and the fact that Beatrice is now named Tress, she's in Dauntless, right? All they want to do is wear vests, get tattoos, wear black, talk shit to each other, fight each other with their elbows. They don't really have a very
my
good
God.
fighting style.
Yeah, no one puts their hands in front of their face.
So,
their hands are
essentially-
like down here.
Yeah. So essentially, they put the Dauntless babies, the new Dauntless people, into like a hazing ritual. The first part of which is beat each other up.
First jumper in the ring. Last jumper. Time to fight.
How long do we fight for?
Till one of you can't continue.
Or one of you concedes.
According to the old rules. The new rules, no one concedes.
You really want to lose them all in their first fight?
A brave man never surrenders.
Lucky for you, those weren't the rules when we fought.
You'll be scored on this, so fight hard.
Yeah.
And there's 2 people in charge of this. One of them is named Eric. He has like 85 face piercings.
That's Jai Courtney, right?
And he's an asshole.
yeah, he
was
Boomerang.
Bruce Willis's son in Live Hard or Die Forever.
Yeah.
Right. And the other guy in charge of the trainees, the hazing of the Dauntless babies, is named Four.
Yeah.
And
He's also faking an American accent.
shit,
It's like
what's
Jai
her name?
Courtney.
Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz goes for like the number, and he
Yeah.
goes,
Oh, she goes.
for like the number.
Did
And
they
he
run out of
goes-
1 through 3? What happened to 1
He
through
goes,
3?
yeah, for like the number. And we find out later that he's called that because he has 4 fears, which
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest thing.
they
I've
say that
ever
in the
heard.
book.
Oh, okay.
So that's the name that he wanted to take. So basically, the first part is a physical test where they make everybody beat each other and throw knives at each other.
Yeah.
And the guy Eric is really into that because he really likes like death and pain. And then the second part, and they find out that you get cut along the way. And you have to become factionless if you're not like good enough. So the second part is a mental test where they give you the drug and they make you go through your little fear scape and like handle it in your subconscious.
Yeah.
And so 4 is named that because he only has 4 fears.
Wow. I did not catch that. That's
Yeah.
the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
No, that's actually the dumbest fucking thing I've heard about this movie so far. And
They call me 3 because I'm scared of 3 things.
and
So 4 and
that's actually, Bill, I'm sorry. That's one of the funniest things I've heard all day.
so 4
They call me 3 because I'm scared of 3.
That's literally what she just said. Is
Okay, so-
that's why he's named 4. 'Cause
Four and Triss quickly realize
They call me 1,700 because
that
I'm afraid of
Stop.
1,000. Sorry, go ahead.
4 and Triss quickly realize that they're in love with each other or something. And also 4 quickly realizes that Triss is what they call divergent, which means you have more than one aspect to your personality. Whoa! Call the cops.
Which
Which basically means you're put to death.
to bring it the point of the whole thing is the name of the movie, and the entire premise of the movie is the biggest plot hole the movie has.
If you have more than one
is that a person is more than a person who likes to run and climb or likes to plant corn.
I like to run and climb
or
and read.
You like to like
Death.
code and like do software, like it's.
But I like to
it's
farm
like
and do
absurd,
good
dude.
deeds for others. Death.
But no, but it's like it's insane. It's insane that like anybody ever would be like, no, the only thing I like is to.
I only like vests
I only like to run and climb
made of leather.
and jump.
That's
and
the
be-
only thing.
and be
I promise.
And be treated like shit.
Don't kill me.
And then or to be like erudite, which is this is like the most absurd fucking faction of all. So what they're saying is that if you join erudite, you're a coward who can't plant
And you're not
food,
nice.
and you can't
You
tell
kill
the
plants.
truth,
And you're a liar.
and you can't,
You're
and
scared.
you have no fucking ability to do empathy. Like that's insane. That's insane that there's an entire.
And if
faction
you're
of
an
society.
abnegation, then you like hate peace.
Yeah, no, yeah. Also, yeah, there's also yeah the faction. If you're an amity, yeah, you farm, and I guess like that's their job.
Yeah.
But like that's the only people that like peace.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like we've said before, do you need 20% of society to be fucking a bunch of sociopathic nerds. Like,
Yeah.
they're like,
Okay.
oh well, I don't know if you know this about JavaScript, and
Okay.
but also I want to kill everyone who is in abnegation.
Order in the court. Order in the court.
It's
So
well deserved.
So Trisk realizes that to get through abnegation and not get cut, aka become a factionless person,
Which is insane.
Right.
Which is
right,
insane.
you have to go through hazing, half of which involves dealing with your fears. Bitch, I thought these people were dauntless. All of a sudden, everybody has fears and shit.
4 has 4 of them.
And guess what?
He's
Guess
like,
what?
he's like the most fearless dude in the world.
Guess what? If you go through your fear thing and you tackle it really well and you like beat your fears, then they're like, you're divergent, die. What? In order to pass the test to be a dauntless, aka fearless person, you have to go through your fearscape like a little stupid, fearful person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have to prove that you have
If you break the
fears
glass
to be
to get
a
out, yeah.
fearless, dauntless person. That's stupid. That's a plot hole. I'd like to point that out.
Yeah.
And also, like,
So-
let's talk about 4 for one
That's
second.
weird. That doesn't make sense.
His fears also bring like this
Fear,
movie.
4 has 4 fears.
This movie is Swiss fucking cheese.
One of them is fear of heights.
Fear of heights.
You don't sound very dauntless.
He's
Okay?
Yeah.
afraid of.
Especially you shouldn't be
Well,
training
no, but
these people.
fear of being trapped in a box.
Second,
That's a good
fear
normal
of confinement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
AKA
also, we live in a fucking society where they use words like dauntless, abnegation, candor, erudite, and they don't know the word claustrophobia. They fucking actually
Fear
go
of
out of their way to
Closed
fuck,
space.
out of their way to fucking like define it in longer,
Yeah.
shorter words.
And then his
But-
third fear
This
is
dad.
fear. No, that's his fourth fear is his abusive father.
bad.
His third fear is being told to shoot a random person in the face.
Right. He can't look. He has to look away.
What? First of all, who doesn't have that fear?
Sure. That's a very specific.
Well,
Who's
also-
like,
have.
yeah,
Also-
I'm
also-
totally down to shoot a random person in the
That's
face.
not a fear.
Full eye contact.
I think the
Blast.
fear is just like you're not a murderer.
Yeah.
That's not a fear. That's
Not a fear. That's
It's
just
actually like
you don't want to.
we can overlook so many fucking aspects of this film and be
I
like
have a problem with
and be
that.
like, oh, okay, you have a fear of heights, you have a fear of
Confined.
confined spaces, you have a
Sure.
fear of your father,
Yeah.
You have a
whatever.
fear of
But
But a
your
fear of
you know,
making eye contact
your
with a
third
random
fear-
stranger while you plug them.
Exactly. He literally said his third fear is
He
that
even was fine to do it. He just didn't.
and he,
wanna
he, and, he,
Looks
and, he,
away.
and he does it anyway. He says that all I can do when I have to shoot an innocent person in the head is I look away so
Well,
I
that-
can do it.
That's how you prove you're fearless.
Okay, this has nothing to do with fear. This is not what it's not.
It's called
It's not how fear
compliance.
works.
Yeah,
So like a fear of heights is a real thing. Claustrophobia is a real thing.
Yeah.
Even a fear of your father, if you had an abusive father,
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
it's a real
trauma.
thing.
Yeah.
A fear of shooting a person in a child in the head, which is what they do in this film.
I'm really afraid of that.
That's I mean I'm so scared of always like blasting these fucking kids' heads off, man. I'm like, you know what really scares me? Hey
Blasting
Bill,
kids
man,
in
you
the
know
face.
like I haven't
What's
seen
that? What's that?
I haven't
Doug?
seen you in a while, man. I've been telling you like I have this fear that's just been
What is it?
plaguing me recently.
What's bothering you?
So like I'm afraid of like taking a gun and like going and finding an innocent child and blowing their fucking head off.
That's crazy. I don't have that.
It scares
fear.
me so much
Me too.
because this is a fear I have.
That's like a deeply horrifying experience that
I'm just-
probably people in the world definitely have.
Oh,
like,
sure.
I'm just
It's not like
so scared
a
that the next
phobia.
I'm just so
No.
scared that the next time that there's an innocent child in front of me,
You
I
might-
won't be able to blow their head off with my gun because I'm a coward and I'm not dauntless.
You don't belong in Dauntless.
And so, you know what I've been doing, man? What I do is I look away. I look away and
It's a great way to
I
deal with
pretend
that.
I didn't do it.
So we find that Triss and Four want to have sex with each other. And we find this out in a scene where they're playing with knives. And Eric, the bad man, tells one of Triss's 3 white male friends who all look the same. Because they
I have that in my notes. Every
dude, no,
man
bring
looks
that up.
the same.
Bring that up and let's
thought
talk about
she
it right now.
I thought she shot her brother at that one
Yeah,
point.
dude, no.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There
I'm
are
getting
4.
ahead. I'm getting
there are
ahead.
4 actors in this movie that look identical,
Exactly the
and that
same.
needs to be brought up.
So Triss is her white male acquaintance number 1 gets in trouble for being shitty at throwing knives, and Eric, the guy with the eyebrow piercings, is like, "Oh, do you want to be Dauntless? You'd better stand at the knife target while we throw knives at you." He stands in front of it and he's all scared and shit. "Are you really Dauntless?" And so Triss goes, "Hold on. Anyone can stand in front of a target." "Really, bitch? Anyone? I don't want to stand in front of a target.
Yeah.
I actually don't think anyone can do
I
that."
generally try
But
to avoid that sort of situation.
She was like, "Anyone can do that." And he was like, "Well, then fucking trade places." And she goes, "Okay." So she goes over there, and 4 is like, "This is the best thing that's ever happened to me." And so he
He's
throws
like, she'll finally notice me.
yeah, he's like, "This is."
I'm gonna throw knives
he
at her
goes,
head, and she
"This is
wanna
my
fuck me.
fantasy." So he throws like a bunch of knives at her, and he misses, except for the last one. He fucking cuts a piece of your ear off. So this is like the introduction to their sexual relationship. It's like knife play.
And then she says, "You cut me."
She's like, "You cut me," and he's like, "I could have taken your whole head off," and she's like, "What?" So it's really weird.
You all right?
You cut me.
I meant to.
You meant to?
Think he was gonna let you off without a scratch? I'd still be standing there if I hadn't hit you.
So am I supposed to thank you?
You're supposed to be smart. If I wanted to hurt you, I would have.
He's like, "I
Also,
could have
like-
cut your eyeball out if I wanted to, but I didn't want to. I just cut part of your ear off." And that means that's like courtship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get the courtship thing, but also at the same so
If I wasn't interested in you, I would have just
they're
thrown a knife in the middle of your brain.
they're dauntless. They're
Dauntless.
so like we're looking at people that are like 25, 26 years old that are virgins. and their society is so fucked up, and like they have to like do like crazy awful shit to like lose their virginity like way into their like mid 20s.
I want to know if the other factions are doing similar levels of hazing.
I doubt
Like,
it.
are people over in Erudite and they're like, "Read this book in a minute or less, or else we're gonna throw a knife at your head,"
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing.
or like plow these
over at
cornfields
Fuck Fart
right
Brigade.
now, you little bitch, or else.
I don't think that's happening to anyone else in that
Like,
society.
why would you join Dauntless then?
Over at Fuck Fart Brigade, we definitely don't condone incelism.
Oh. Okay, so Triss sucked ass in the physical fighting thing, and then she starts doing really well in the mental thing because she's divergent. She's divergent. She has multiple aspects of her personality like a regular person, and that's really fucking with things. But at first, it shows that she's doing good at it. So her friend number 2, who's the indiscriminate white male character, decides she's a threat to me because if she gets in, I'm out. I'm going to be factionless. So I think I'll murder her. So he gets a bunch of her friends, his friends together, and they like kidnap Triss and they try and throw her off a big cliff. And so while they're trying to throw her off of a big cliff, she like uncovers his hood and she's like, "Will, or whatever your name is, the guy who looks like me, there are 2 people that I know." And he's like, "Yeah, it's me, the guy who looks like 2 other people that you know." And so basically one of the people that she was friends with tries to kill her. That's how bad he wants to be in Dauntless. Doesn't sound very Dauntless of him.
Yeah, that's sort of cowardly.
Yeah. And so then he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry that I tried to murder you." And she's like, literally die. I hate you. Like, don't ever talk to me. Don't ever talk to me again.
Tris, can I talk to you for a second? I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. Listen, can you ever forgive me?
If you ever come close to me again, I will kill you.
Tris.
You need to stay away from me. You are a coward.
And then he kills himself.
Yeah, he just jumps down.
Well,
a pit.
supposedly,
It was really tragic.
My conspiracy theory is that he actually was murdered.
Oh. Whoa.
I think fucking Ford threw him down the.
Oh, because he was threatening his lady friend.
What?
Yeah,
Special
no,
lady friend.
Ford's not a good guy.
He's not.
So, I can't go on without talking about my favorite line of the whole movie. So, if you have a favorite line, think about it. But when they first move into the dorms at Dauntless, and he's like, this is where you're going to be sleeping for the next couple months. And somebody goes, guys or girls? And he says, both. And in the background, somebody goes, noise!
Yeah.
And it's the
Yeah, that is the best.
It's the best part of the movie.
No,
and
no one's gonna.
It's really funny.
You're gonna be sleeping here for the next 10 weeks. Girls or boys? Both.
No one's gonna dispute that. That's the
Okay.
best line.
So basically, Tris realizes she's divergent. That's bad. You can't have more than one aspect of your personality. Yada, yada, yada. She passes the test. She starts doing better at the mental shit. And then all of a sudden, 4 is like, hey, he kind of reveals to her that he's divergent too. And the way he does that is he says, hey, I have a bunch of tattoos on my back. And they basically look like the Pokemon cards symbols. And I put them on my back. Here's a question. The only people who have tattoos are Dauntless, right? It's like a thing about being Dauntless.
Yeah.
And
If
the
you're
way
not
they
Dauntless,
get-
you can't even have a tattoo.
Right.
You're
And the way they
scared.
get a tattoo is like this pre-made fucking
Laser
like
thing.
temporary tattoo looking ass thing.
Yeah.
And 4 has a tattoo of all the factions on his back. How did he get that? Okay, because she's like, whoa, oh my God, you have all the factions. You're supposed to only give a shit about your faction. Yet 4 ended up with a picture from a pre-made tattoo parlor thing. So he walked into the tattoo
I
place.
guess Maggie Q did it for him,
And they
right?
had all of the different faction tattoos.
even though no one has a tattoo, but
But you're not going to
Dauntless.
come in and be like, give me an Amity tattoo. Or they'd be like, Divergent,
well,
kill
right,
him.
right. And what is an Amity? I mean, what is an Amity tattoo? They don't
Right.
get tattoos.
Right.
I have
There's
an
a
answer.
problem here. Tell it.
Okay. So, yeah, his stupid fucking reason for it is like, I just want to remind myself that I want to be kind and brave and
You're
learn
not
how to
allowed to
learn
do
how to
that.
farm and also learn how to tell the truth. And
I want to remind
learn how to
myself that I'm something that's punishable by
code.
death all the time
It's like, it's so fucking stupid. It's like, oh,
in
I
a
wanna-
very visible way to others.
I always want to
Or a
think that
constant threat
I could
to my
potentially
existence.
learn JavaScript. But whatever. It's actually on my
But
back
I chose not
where
to.
I can never see it, and it would always be a threat to my personal safety. If anyone saw it and I have to like come up with a fucking stupid excuse.
I'm going to do wrap up the plot and then we're going to do ratings.
Hell yeah.
So essentially, we then come to the climax where turns out they're trying to use the Divergent to become evil, like mind-controlled soldiers to kill abnegation.
Not the Divergent. They're trying to use the Dauntless to become soldiers.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's supposed to identify the Divergent
Yeah.
so they can murder them.
Right.
So as soon as they identify Triss and 4 as Divergent, they don't murder them.
Right.
They have 85 opportunities to call them.
Yeah, they
and
keep
choose
having them
not
sit down
to.
in rooms.
Right. They're like, wait here while we almost kill you. Meanwhile, the Divergent are going to take over abnegation because we've decided that the abnegation people are incompetent, according to Erudite. And so they mind control them with this little blood shit, and then they make them go kill them. They don't know what they're doing. Then they realize, Triss and 4 are like, we have to stop this. So they take Kate Winslet, who's been the villain the whole movie, And they're like,
This makes no sense.
and Kate Winslet is like, bitches, I'm the only one who can control this.
Yeah.
And they're like, sure. So they the like climax of the film is when Triss punches Kate Winslet in the face, which is like they really should have taken another take of this because she like totally misses her face and then and the music's like bam. So basically, they take Kate Winslet, they punch her in the face, but they miss. But somehow the punch still lands. Kate Winslet goes unconscious. They stab her with the mind control drug. And then they say, Kate Winslet, now that we've stabbed you with the mind control drug, turn off the machine that's controlling people. And she goes, yeah, okay. And so she does it. And then all the Dauntless cops stop pointing their guns at the abnegation children, and everyone's like, yay, we stopped the insurrection. And Kate Winslet wakes up and she's
pretty upset about it.
Oh my God, what did you do? This was how we were gonna fix human nature. And it's like, with mass murder?
Yeah, that's what she wanted.
Great. We're not gonna ask you again, crazy. And she just kind of like, I don't know if she like floats off like Voldemort in like Harry Potter movie #1 or like a little vapor ghost or
I don't
whatever.
remember what happens to her.
But anyway,
she probably back up in like the next movie.
Yeah, we'll never know because I'm not gonna watch it.
It's called Insurrection.
Maybe Insurrection. So Beatrice and Four's abusive dad. And both of Triss's parents die, so that's sad. So I guess just her brother. Go train hop again because they're dauntless. They get on the train hop and they run off, and there's a narration where Triss basically says, now we're just by ourselves. We've left the society. We don't know what's out there, and we're going to just ride the train till the end. Do we want to read it?
Yeah,
okay, so according to Doug, we have 4 categories. What are they?
Yeah, we have acting, action, plot, and wow factor.
Awesome. Okay, plot. Everybody say 1 through 5. What do you think about Divergent's
2.
plot? Do you want to elaborate?
It's a 2. It's
Okay,
like
great. Bill?
better than a 1.
Yeah, I'll give it. I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3. Yeah,
That's really nice. I give it a
Bill.
2.
pretty uninteresting.
I give it a 2. Okay, action.
Was there?
Doug.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to go hard on this. No stars. You have no stars for action.
0? Okay, Bill.
Yeah, it was poorly choreographed, and half the time it was too dark to see what was even happening. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2.
I give it a 1 because the most exciting thing that happened was the train hopping, and they really overused that.
That was the most exciting thing. Yeah.
They overused it. So okay, acting.
Acting.
Acting, it can have a 3 because it wasn't like painfully bad. It just wasn't very interesting. Everyone was the
really like
same.
Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, I give a solid 3.
I thought all the dialogue could have been said by anyone in the whole movie.
I'll give it a 3 just to stay in line. Wow factor.
Wow.
That's a 0
Can't
for
describe-
me. I didn't say wow once.
Do you want to elaborate?
I'm going to diverge.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to say he gets a 5 for wow factor.
Well, I give it a 2 for wow factor because I've seen this so many times, 5 times.
It impressed you on
that
some level.
clearly I kept watching it. Our average score, I just did the math on the calculator. I really am that fast.
Yeah.
2.88888 infinity 8. So
Yeah.
like
That sounds about
below
right.
middle.
It's a below average movie.
It's
It's
below.
not terrible, but it's not good. It's very dull.
Below average.
yeah, it's not great, but
I wrote my review is not terrible, but good enough for babies.
that's true. I agree. But the real question here is what we care about most of all is it a romp?
Is it a romp?
Is it a romp?
No.
What?
This is a romp. Hanging out with you guys and talking about it, that's a
I'm
romp.
gonna tell you,
The movie-
Divergent's a romp. Doug, is it a romp?
It's a romp.
2 out of 3. Divergent is a romp.
Yeah, that's majority rules. It's a romp.
This has been a beautiful experience. I thank you all for this time we've shared together. Divergent gets a 2.88888 out of 5. Yet it's a romp. Pass fail. It passes.
It passes, yeah.
I have to say this. Thank you for listening to My Views Are My Own, My Reviews Are My Own with special co-host, co-producer Colleen,
Yes.
co-producer Bill.
Yep.
And, well, it's been a romp.
Thank you. Goodbye.
This has definitely been a romp.
And good night.
Good night.